Good morning. Madam Chair, Commission, fellow elected officials, friends, and colleagues, thank you so much for joining us this morning for Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs' 7th annual budget address. We are truly glad you're here. I'm Dwight Vandevate. I serve as Chief Operating Officer for Mayor Jacobs, along with my partner, Chris Caldwell, who serves as Chief Financial Officer. We will begin this morning with an invocation led by Pastor Nick Swarthout of Grace Baptist Church. Following the invocation, the Carnes High School Ensemble will take the stage to lead us in the singing of the national anthem. If you would, please stand when the ensemble, not now, sorry, not yet, but I appreciate an enthusiastic crowd. If you would, when the Carnes Ensemble is on stage, please go ahead and stand for the national anthem. Remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Cadet Lieutenant Commander Reese Sams from West High School. Following the pledge, our friend and colleague, Miss Marita Black, will introduce the mayor. Marita is Senior Director of Knox County's Public Library System. At the conclusion of the mayor's remarks, Reverend Anna Lee, who is the executive pastor of Cokesbury United Methodist Church, will offer the benediction. Again, thank you so much for being here this morning, and on behalf of the mayor's entire staff, happy Cinco de Mayo. And with that, Reverend Swarthout.
Well, good morning. Thank you for being here with us this morning. My name is Pastor Nick Swarthout, and I have the distinct honor and privilege of serving as our pastor of groups and community outreach up at Grace Baptist Church in the Carnes area. Over the last year of being there at Grace, I've gotten to know some of Mayor Jacobs' team. Jane, Rhonda, and Brad, their faith-based roundtable that they host each month is it's an honor and a privilege to get to sit around and pray with you all and hear about all God is doing in our community. One of the things that I shared with them a couple months ago was that it seems like everywhere I go to pray with and stand with people who have a concerted effort to stand up for truth and light and life that we find in the gospel, stand up for God's people and for God's purposes, Mayor Jacobs is there. There was a ribbon cutting ceremony for a reading walk in a park in Westview, in the Westview community. Mayor Jacobs was there for the reading ceremony. At the Right to Life March, Mayor Jacobs was there. It seems like everywhere that the Lord is at work, you see God's people, including Mayor Jacobs, there rolling up their sleeves and doing what they can to be a part of what God is doing with our great community. So I'm humbled to be here. Thank you, Mayor Jacobs, for having me. And would you please stand with me as we go to the Lord in prayer. Father in heaven, we are grateful for the honor and the privilege that we have to be a part of such a great community. God, in a world that is riddled with sin and darkness and brokenness, we recognize that there are people who are sold out for you, sold out for your kingdom. Lord, who are diligently working to bring peace to our communities, to bring hope to our people, to bring healing to our nation. And God, ultimately to bring your kingdom to earth as it is in heaven. Father, I thank you for Mayor Jacobs. I thank you for his team. I thank you for the people in this room that care enough to get out on a rainy Monday morning to come and hear what our mayor has to share with us. And Father, we recognize that all of our efforts are in vain if our hearts are not focused wholly and totally toward you and your kingdom. And so, Father, in the words of your Son, Jesus, we say, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For yours is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Thank you.
gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, America.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Thank you again for joining us. And if you will, join me in a show of thanks to that fabulous Carnes High School ensemble. While many people recognize Mayor Jacobs for his current work in public policy, or perhaps his prior career as an entertainer, long before that, he was an English literature major in college. His lifelong love of books and learning is the cornerstone of who he has always been. At the library, Mayor Jacobs is known as a true advocate for literacy. One of the first things he did when he took office was to create Read City USA. And that is a program that is a community-wide program designed to engage the entire community in support of early literacy. And has he gone above and beyond to stir up excitement? Over the years, he has donned costumes such as Cat in the Hat, Davy Crockett, a ship captain, and most recently, a mad scientist complete with green hair, my personal favorite. All to promote reading and our reading challenges. And it's working. Knox County is a reading community. We at the library truly appreciate everything that Mayor Jacobs does to foster a love of reading in our community. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs.
Thank you, my friend.
Well, thank you, Marita. I appreciate your kind words and your friendship. And also thank you to Pastor Swarthout for the invocation, the Carnes High School Ensemble for the national anthem, and Cadet Lieutenant Commander Sams for leading the Pledge of Allegiance. Can we please give them another round of applause? It is wonderful to be with everyone today, but before I get to the business at hand, I'd like to recognize the elected officials who are joining us, my peers and colleagues, people who do good work every day for Knox County. Now, there are a lot of them, so please hold your applause until the end. We have our Knox County Commissioners, Damon Rawls, Courtney Durrett, Chair Gina Oster, Shane Jackson, Angela Russell, Rhonda Lee, Adam Thompson, Andy Fox, Larson Jay, and Vice Chair Kim Frazier. Sheriff Tom Spangler is here, Trustee Justin Biggs, County Clerk Sherry Witt, Register Nick McBride, Property Assessor Phil Ballard, and Public Defender Eric Lutton. Circuit Court Clerk Charlie Cesano is here, as well as Criminal Court Clerk Mike Hammonds, and also Scott Griswold, who is the county's clerk and master. From schools, we have John Riswick, the superintendent, as well as chair of the school board, Betsy Henderson. Mayor of the city of Knoxville, India Kincannon, is here. From the town of Farragut, Mayor Ron Williams. Also, I think I saw Vice Mayor Louise Pavlin, and also David Smoke is the town administrator. And then from our congressional delegation, we have Sarah Fansler, who is representing Congressman Burchett, and Emily McCall. So could we please give them a round of applause? And now, if you are a former elected official, could you please stand or raise your hand to be recognized? Okay, well, let's give them a round of applause. One of the most important people throughout my WWE career was Kathy Morrell. You're not going to recognize that name. Kathy wasn't a wrestler or an executive. She handled my travel. Now, big deal, you might think. Well, if Kane didn't show up to an event because his travel arrangements were messed up, yes, it was a very big deal. Kathy was an important part of a team that comprised an entertainment juggernaut. Without people like her, that machine just wouldn't go. But because she wasn't on TV, the public never knew her or her importance. There are many people like Kathy who work for Knox County, dedicated professionals who often go unseen, but are vital to keeping everything running smoothly. Their diligent efforts ensure that our community continues to thrive no matter the circumstance. The budget I'm about to propose does not include a tax increase. All of us must live within our means, and that includes government. When I first ran for mayor, I said that I would not raise property taxes, and I intend to keep that pledge. My foremost duty as mayor is to determine the best use of your tax dollars. I am humbled that you have entrusted that task to me and my team. This year's budget isn't going to have a lot of shiny objects. It's a tight year, revenues are flat, the cost of doing business is up. It is a challenging time, but fortunately, due to the talent and leadership in our various departments, there's still a lot of great things happening in Knox County. Obviously, one of the most important has been the Advanced Knox Initiative, a complete overhaul and update of the county's land use policies, with an emphasis on addressing skyrocketing housing prices, preserving our beautiful open spaces, and limiting urban sprawl. Thanks to the efforts of the Advanced Knox leadership team, Mandy Benedict, Kathy Olson, Jim Snowden, Amy Brooks, and Allie Ketron, we have completed the first phase, amendments to the growth policy plan and a new comprehensive plan. And the Knox County Commission recently voted on a consultant to help with the Unified Development Ordinance. I appreciate the many people who took part in the Advanced Knox process, especially our Knox County Commissioners, whose engagement and collaboration help produce a solid foundation to build upon. Turning to schools, the 865 Academies began 4 years ago as a bold reimagining of the high school experience. Today, the academies are aligning education with workforce needs. This is now fully embedded in all 14 of Knox County's traditional high schools, providing students with real-world learning opportunities, industry exposure, and career line pathways. The district also implemented a new regional structure to provide faster, on-the-ground support for schools. This approach has contributed to measurable gains over the last 3 years, including a 9% increase in reading proficiency and a 6% increase in math proficiency for 3rd through 5th graders. It's good work. This year, Superintendent Reiswick, with the support of the Board of Education, has proposed a budget of $700,485,000, reflecting $24 million in revenue growth. These are funds that pay for our teachers, our custodians, school security officers, and other essential staff who show up every day to serve nearly 60,000 students. I am recommending that this budget request is funded in its entirety. Over the past several years, we have opened new school buildings at Lonsdale and Adrian Burnett and built an entirely new school, Mill Creek Elementary. This year's budget again supports much-needed capital projects, such as solutions at Farragut and South Knoxville. We are also looking into a major redevelopment of the rural high school site for a potential K-8 school. We also continue to invest in public infrastructure, such as roads and bridges. Engineering and Public Works has almost wrapped up, under budget, I might add, phase 2 and 3 of the Shad Road extension, which is the biggest road project in Knox County history. By the end of the year, we're expected to begin the final phase, which links the busy Oak Ridge Highway to Pleasant Ridge Road. Improvements to Canton Hollow Road will begin this fall. We expect construction on South North Shore Drive to begin this summer with completion set for spring 2026. And construction on the Marietta Church roundabout should start here in a few months. Additionally, there are 2 pedestrian bridges in the queue. Construction is slated to begin on the Staff Sergeant Ryan Knox Bridge in Gibbs this year. We hope to wrap that up in late 2026. We're starting design on the Powell pedestrian bridge now, and hopefully we'll start construction next year. In addition to these projects, EPW does the important work of maintaining existing infrastructure. This year, our highway department repaved almost 50 miles of road, rehabilitated another 10 miles, and helped extend greenways throughout the county. We plan to keep that momentum going. I've added another $200,000 to help support that work. Knox County is richly blessed with incredible outdoor spaces. Our Parks and Recreation Department works hard to make them even more enjoyable, functional, and accessible. For instance, this past year, Senior Director Joe Mack and his team added ADA accessible playgrounds at Melton Hill Park, Hardin Valley Community Park, and Carter Park. With the new splash pad opening in a couple weeks at French Memorial Park in South Knox County, we will now have water amenities in all 4 geographic regions, providing more opportunities for outdoor play than ever before. This year, they will continue their outstanding efforts. They are working on a putting green at the barn at Beverly Park and are installing 2 more ADA kayak launches on Beaver Creek. In 2026, we plan to open a new community building and pavilion at Hardin Valley Community Park. Now, thanks to our partnership with Legacy Parks and Carol Evans, the French Broad Veterans Memorial Park, overlooking the East Tennessee Veterans Cemetery, is scheduled to open in just a couple weeks. With its stunning views, delights the eye, the rows of white headstones and the stories behind them fill our hearts. Carol and her team also plan to open a new fully adaptive boat launch and fishing pier at Cruise Landing with an entire system of accessible docks going from the 7 Island State Birding Park to downtown Knoxville. So please, give a round of applause for our Parks and Recreation Department Carol Evans from Legacy Parks, and everyone who plays a part in making our county a more attractive place for both residents and visitors to stay and play in the great outdoors. Speaking of visitors, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Kim Bumpus and her wonderful team at Visit Knoxville. Tourism is an economic powerhouse in Tennessee, and Knox County is no different. In 2023, Knox County generated over $2 billion in travel spending. This was an 8.5% increase over the prior year, and the first time that travel spending has crossed that $2 billion mark. Who can forget the Morgan Wallen concerts last September at Neyland Stadium? With over 156,000 fans in attendance, these shows smashed a record that stood for over 4 decades for the largest weekend concert attendance in Knoxville's history. To keep that momentum going, Visit Knoxville has lined up some exciting events for the upcoming year. Some of these include the Bassmaster Classic 2026. This is the 3rd time in the past 7 years that we have hosted the Super Bowl of bass fishing. The Gun Owners of America Goals Conference returns this year, and the AAU Girls Basketball World Championship is coming to Knoxville this summer. So please let's show our appreciation for Kim and her folks at Visit Knoxville. Another great partner is the Knoxville Chamber. Led by Mike Odom and his team, they assisted in the expansion of Beehive Industries and BioPet Laboratories and recruited the corporate headquarters of Voidus Group, which led to the creation of almost 200 new jobs. The crown jewel, though, was their successful recruitment of GreenHeck Group's new corporate campus, which announced 440 jobs and a $300 million capital investment with room for expansion. When all is said and done, GreenHeck will be one of the biggest economic development projects in county history. And a big shout out to the state of Tennessee for helping see that project through. The Chamber recently released its new 5-year strategic vision called Prosperity Through Innovation, with the goals of growing average pay 30%, lowering the poverty rate by 25%, and increasing our 25 to 54-year-old demographic by 7%. I'm confident that the new Covenant Health Park with baseball, soccer, and exciting concerts will help bring that younger demographic, sparking new energy and tourism jobs and year-end events in Knox County. So a big thanks to our partners over at the Chamber. It was another banner year for the Knox County Library, with more than 3 million items checked out by 182,000 cardholders. As habits are shifting to more digital usage, the library is meeting demand with over 1 million downloads of ebooks and audiobooks. For over 20 years, our library system has partnered with Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. Every month, the Imagination Library mails a book to children from birth to age 5 at no cost to the family. With a total of over 100,000 children served, Knox County has been one of the most successful urban programs. Now that is amazing work. From the incredible exhibition on baseball currently on display at the East Tennessee History Center, to story times across the county from Carter to Farragut, the library is there for the whole community. And it's no surprise that the Children's Festival of Reading, coming up May 17th at World's Fair Park, was recently named the best children's event in the Southeast. So thank you to our libraries and their dedicated staff for all that you all do. Our senior centers aim to keep adults 50 and over physically, mentally, and socially active. Programs are as lively as ever, with attendance in the first quarter this year setting an all-time high. From upgraded fitness equipment and improved fitness classes, to warning seniors about frauds and scams, to helping seniors give back with their time and talents, Buzz Buswell, April Tomlin, and their team do an amazing job. Let's give them a round of applause, please. Buzz also leads a tremendous team at the Knox County Veterans Service Office. Last month alone, they served more than 1,000 veterans. Thank you to the Veteran Services team for all they do to help those who've served this great nation. When people think of the health department, they often think of vaccines, restaurant inspections, or routine healthcare services. Although that is all true, it's just a tiny sliver of what our award-winning health department does. I am pleased to announce Senior Director Kevin Parton is working on an innovative partnership with Knox Area Rescue Ministries and Summit Medical Group to open a healthcare clinic serving the homeless, which should help alleviate stress on our emergency rooms and ambulance system. Last year, the health department completed a major effort, spearheading a new ambulance service contract with AMR. Today, I'm pleased to say that we have seen positive results. Since last July, AMR has been compliant with response time requirements in 94% of the contract's categories. We know that there are still challenges, but we have made big strides in the right direction this year. A big thank you to Kevin and Public Health Officer Dr. Megan Edwards and their team. And we all know that law enforcement is a dangerous profession. So we have made significant investments in public safety. 2 years ago, Sheriff Spangler and I reached an agreement that netted his folks the highest pay increases in county history. This year, I'm recommending $5 million in increased funding for operations, including raises, operational fixed cost increases, and the uniform officer's pension plan. In addition, there'll be money to pay for more body cams, tasers, and new vehicles. It's tough to be in law enforcement. I think I speak for everyone here when I say how grateful we are to our deputies, how much we appreciate them, and that we will always support them. And in addition to policing, other factors impact public safety as well as quality of life. Possibly the biggest is mental health. For too long, we have treated mental illness as a law enforcement issue, but we're working to change that. We continue to support the Behavioral Health Urgent Care Center, which provides an alternative to jail for people in need of mental health services. My office also worked with Knox County Criminal Court Clerk Mike Hammond, the Judiciary, and District Attorney General Sharm Allen's office to establish a mental health court for adult defendants who have serious mental illnesses. There are only 300 of these courts in the country, and now we have one right here in Knox County. The East Tennessee Regional Forensic Center also plays a role in helping law enforcement. The work of Senior Director Chris Thomas, Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Darinka Malusnik, and everyone at the Forensic Center is impeccable. Once again, the facility had an intensive on-site review from the National Association of Medical Examiners, in which they were granted full accreditation. This is the 15th year in a row that they have achieved that prestigious designation. In partnership with Governor Lee and his staff, we recently broke ground on a new state-of-the-art forensic facility. This new building will increase our capacity to continue to deliver excellent forensic services. So let's hear it for Chris and his team, please. Our Grants and Community Development Department works tirelessly looking for funding to help Knox County move forward. We know the continued economic development of our community requires expanding employment opportunities. In support of this, they are focusing heavily on programs that provide the skilled workforce and housing that potential employers are looking for when deciding where to locate their businesses. Additionally, through our Department of Public Safety, they support fire and rescue services and regional homeland security initiatives. In late 2023, working with their colleagues in the city, Jenny Holden and her team at Community Development successfully helped lead the opening of the Office of Housing Stability. This is just one of the many ways in which the county and the city work together. So thank you to American Cannon for always being such a good partner. I'd also like to thank Aaron Reed, who oversees the Office of Housing Stability, which is working hard to address rising homelessness. Looking ahead, the office's strategic planning process has brought together members of the public, people with lived experience of homelessness, and local experts and decision makers to chart a path to address homelessness in Knox County. Further, in partnership with D.R. Horton Homes, local high schools, nonprofit partners, and the Office of Housing Stability, Knox County will soon lead a new initiative focusing on assisting veterans who have given so much to our country. This project will create a community that includes tiny homes and supportive services for veterans who are currently homeless. That alone makes it a great project. But in addition to serving our veterans, this project will also provide Knox County High School students an opportunity to practice the skilled trades they've been learning. We are very excited about this and plan to unveil it in spring of next year. So thank you to everyone who's making this happen. In addition to those already mentioned, Knox County government simply does not work without the folks in HR and benefits, IT, procurement, and risk management. So starting January 1st, I am proposing a 1% plus one-step raise for general government employees in our sheriff's office, roughly the equivalent of a 2% salary increase. I wish that I could do what we've been able to do in the past 5 years, but unfortunately our finances are tight. Our revenues are flat, and our expenditures are higher due to inflation and other factors. Just like the private sector and all of us here today, local governments are subject to inflation. So putting together a fiscally responsible budget is harder than ever. The FY 25-26 budget proposal is $1.1 billion, with nearly 2/3 of the spending dedicated to Knox County schools. I do believe this budget prioritizes the things that will benefit our community the most. Thank you to Chris Caldwell, Jennifer Bodie, and the entire finance department for creating a fiscally responsible budget. Under their guidance, the department once again won the Triple Crown for government finance reporting for the 5th year in a row. Out of roughly 21,000 governmental entities across the US and Canada, only around 300 finance departments win that award each year. So that is quite an achievement. We are fortunate to have so many dedicated, hardworking individuals in Knox County government. And yes, local government is an important component of every community. All too often, though, we judge government by the amount of money it spends, not the results it produces. I believe the best outcomes happen when we all work together. That's been the key to our success here in Knox County, and one of the many reasons that Knox County is the best place to live, work, and to raise a family. From Covenant Health Park to the Renew Clinic, to the Impasse Center, to Elevate High School, to the Start Center. The things that I remember most about my tenure have resulted from partnerships with other governments, nonprofits, the private sector, civic organizations, and the faith community. Spending doesn't guarantee success. Relationships, engagement, and cooperation are what really move the needle. We have those here, and we can see that needle moving in the right direction in many different areas. Henry Ford once said, "Coming together is a beginning. Staying together is progress, and working together is success." That sounds like a great formula to me, and it is an honor to serve as your mayor and to play a very small part in all that. Thank you all for being here today. Now, Reverend Anna Lee, if you will please close us out. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you to Mayor Jacobs and your staff and team and so many people represented here on behalf of Cokesbury Church. I bring greetings from West Knoxville, and I want to thank you for your partnership with us in the Warming Center and Fig Tree and Connection Center and other efforts that we're making to assist the community, specifically those experiencing homelessness. So thank you for your work in that area specifically. Please join me in prayer. God of all creation, we come to you today as your servants, stewarding the many gifts and resources entrusted to each of us. We ask that as we go forth from this place, that you would give us courage to serve you and to serve your people with humility and integrity. We ask, God, that you would give us the compassion to care for those the world often calls the least of these. Help us to see the needs of those around us and respond in loving kindness. Help us to use our own privilege and our own power, not for our gain, but for the good of this community. God, may we offer hospitality to the widow, the orphan, the homeless, the immigrant, and all those in difficult circumstances around us. God, we pray that our city would be known for sharing love to all God's children. May Knoxville be a place of respite for the artist and the business person, the student and the teacher, the homeless and the hungry, the children and the elderly. May all find a place to belong here. God, we thank you for this beautiful town that we call home, and we go forth into the community as ambassadors of your love. Amen.